Here's a fun problem from the things you never thought could go wrong department. So one of the things we're building at Yup is a real-time chat room between students and tutors. And for the past couple of months we've had a bug that nobody could really figure out. For some reason, all student messages, but only student messages, were getting duplicated. Let's see if you can figure it out. It took me quite a while, but I'm gonna go grab some Starbucks and I'll explain to you some background so that you have at least some sense of what's going on, and maybe you can tell what the bug was. So, the way our chat system works is that you have three parties in every chat room, essentially. You have the student, the tutor, they're the people who are actually talking, and then you have the server, then you have student, tutor, and then you have the server. And all that the server does is it connects the student and tutor together so that the student and the tutor have a direct chat link. The idea is that this gives us more reliability, because the server is just negotiating the initial connection, and then you have the two people talking to each other directly. Now, to have a reliable way of saving those messages, we have both parties save the messages on the server. So if a student sends a message, it also saves it on the server. If the student gets a message, they also try to save it on the server. Same for the tutor. And the idea there is that even though potentially one of the people can lose connection to the server, we still hold the entire history in memory. So we're always going to have all the messages and we never lose anything. Every message gives you some text, some sent at, who sent it, and which chat room it happened in. We then save those on the backend, and we use a database index that looks at sent at, text, who, and in which chat room to decide uniqueness of messages. And it's trying to dedupe messages and make sure that somebody isn't sending the same message very, very rapidly in like nanoseconds, and that the same message isn't getting saved twice. Now, can you figure out from what I've just told you what goes wrong? Why are we still having, despite this database index and despite Postgres having really reliable indexes, why are we still saving every student message twice? Now, don't worry if you can't figure it out. I'll show you the clue that tipped me off as soon as I get home, and it's really unintuitive. As I said in the beginning, it's something that you would never think of going wrong, ever. Okay, here's the clue. If I print out everything that happens in a session where you have who sent something, when they sent it, and what it was, you'll very quickly see that all student messages are getting duplicated. So BDBR happens twice, and then you have two different tutor messages, and then HSJ happens twice again. But the thing that's a little less obvious is that student messages happen with a timestamp difference of about 0.005 of a second. Why does that happen? At some point, I'm not really sure why or when, we started translating the timestamps on the JavaScript side. So if you take that timestamp and you put it into moment and then parse it out again, you'll see that it gets rounded to milliseconds. And this isn't a moment problem, this is a JavaScript problem. Basically, JavaScript only knows how to deal with milliseconds and doesn't know how to deal with anything less than that. I fixed it by simply adding timestamp rounding on the back end. So every time you try to save a message, we round it to milliseconds and everybody's happy and everything works. But why is the millisecond problem a problem? Well, it's because iOS sends us timestamps that are valid to So why is that a problem? Well, it's because iOS sends us timestamps that are accurate to a nanosecond, while JavaScript can only handle milliseconds, and it basically just cuts off everything that's after the millisecond. So let that be a lesson to you. Different systems round time differently, and you cannot rely on the timestamp happening at the same time being the same after it passes through a different language.